Hello?
Hello, Donald. Were you sleeping?
No, honey. No. I was just beating up my room. What's wrong?
Oh, Donald, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong at all. In fact, something is marvelous.
Well, I think something marvelous, too, honey. I don't know exactly what I think is marvelous, but I definitely think that something is marvelous. I got it. My pillow is marvelous, honey. Good night.
Oh, Donald, I'm sorry. I know it's late, but... Oh, Donald, the most fantastic thing has happened. And I need $10,000, I think.
Okay, honey, we'll get it in the morning. I love you. Good night. What did I just say to that girl?
Diamonds, daisies, snowflakes, that girl. Chestnuts, rainbows, springtime. Is that girl? She's tinsel on a tree. She's everything that every girl should be. Sable, popcorn, white wine, that girl. Gingham, bluebirds, Broadway. Is that girl? She's mine alone, but luckily for you. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
How many cups of coffee is that?
I don't know. It's the second pot. Oh, Donald, I couldn't sleep all night. I've never been so excited about anything in my life. What time is it?
6:15.
Donald, thank you for coming over.
You know, all my life I've heard the expression, he's crazy about her, and I've never given it much thought. But now I know what it means.
You don't think I'll be able to buy the rights, do you?
Well, but Joseph Nelson wrote a woman's story in 1936. Everyone in the world has tried to get his permission to perform it, but he will not allow it to be performed. He won't sell the rights.
Oh, Donald, he just has to. It is so fantastic. I mean, it's the greatest part in the world. It's an actress's dream. Oh, Donald, I've got to find a way to talk to Joseph Nelson.
Oh, okay. First things first.
What's the first thing?
Well, the first thing you should do is let him and the rest of the world wake up. And the second thing you better do is stop drinking so much coffee before you have a caffeine attack.
Donald, how do I meet Joseph Nelson?
Well, you call your agent and let him make an appointment, if Nelson will give you one.
Suppose he does sell me the rights. Where am I going to get the money to pay for it?
Well, if you stop drinking so much coffee, that'll give you an extra couple $100.
It's not so funny.
Well, I offered him $10,000 for somebody else, but he turned it down.
Offer him $20,000.
Honey, where are you going to get $20,000?
Oh, I don't know. I'll get it someplace. Donald, what's money compared to this marvelous opportunity? Donald, do you realize that there are some people in this world that consider $20,000 like we consider 10 cents?
Do you know any?
Sure, Howard Hughes.
Hey, Howard Hughes is not going to give you $20,000.
Well, maybe he'll loan it to me. I'm good for it.
Right.
Oh, I don't know where I'm going to get it, but I'm willing to spend every penny I've saved in the bank. I'll sell everything I own. Oh, Donald, would you risk some money?
Well, sure. So between what you have in the bank and what you own, I figure we still have to come up with about $19,500.
You don't have it, huh?
No, honey, I don't have it. I can throw about $1,000 into the pot.
1,000? Really? Oh, that's wonderful. Is that all you got?
No, that's not all I've got. I'm keeping what else I've got for our future. In case I neglected to tell you, I recently became engaged.
Oh, Donald. Sandy.
I pledge $100, anonymous.
Somebody I know must have a few $1,000s to throw around.
Look, Ann, before you start to knock yourself out, let me find out if he's willing to sell at any price. If he's not, that's it.
If he's not, that's not it. But you can call him. Is he in? Does he answer? Is it busy?
Honey, calm down.
Yeah, you're right. I gotta calm down. It's just all that coffee.
Hello?
What'd he say?
Mr. Farnsworth, please.
Not Farnsworth, Nelson.
Farnsworth is Nelson's
Yeah,
agent.
we want to talk directly.
Honey.
Uh-huh. I see. Well, will you have him call Sandy Stone as soon as he gets in, please? Fine. Thank you very much.
You didn't leave your number.
He has it. Now go home, Ann. As soon as I have something to tell you, I'll call you.
Oh, I hate that. I hate to wait. Call me even if you have nothing to tell me. Just call me and say I have nothing to tell you.
Okay, Ann. But do me a favor. Sit by the phone. If it doesn't ring, you'll know it's me.
$50,000? He wouldn't take $50,000?
I told you he doesn't need the money.
Well, there must be something he needs, some way, somewhat. Sandy, what does he want?
Anne, I have no idea.
I'm gonna talk to him myself. Where does he live?
Anne, it's impossible.
It's not impossible, Sandy. It's impossible for you because you don't care that much about seeing him, but it's not impossible to me. Now, where does he live? E what?
E5.
E5.
Wait a minute. Here's Piney Falls. Maybe he meant Piney Falls.
No, that's just what he said.
What?
If you see Piney Falls, don't say maybe he meant Piney Falls. Here it is, Piney Springs, right near Springton.
Right near?
What is that, 3 inches? We could walk.
That's about 50 miles. And look, it's all country roads.
So what, it'll be worth it.
Worth it? You don't even know if he'll open the door when we knock on it, and you can say it'll be worth it.
Donald, he'll open the door. Believe me, he'll open the door. I may not know very much about maps, but I do know about acting, and he'll open the door.
Is she all right?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I'm sure.
Certainly looks all right to me.
Yes, I'm coming around.
Where was this plane crash?
It wasn't a plane crash.
She mumbled something about staggering through the woods to get here.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You staggered through the woods?
No, she said that.
She's obviously acting, Joseph. Anyone who'd come all the way up here to act is undoubtedly an actress who wishes to impress you for any one of a dozen possible reasons, Joseph.
Is that right, young lady?
Well, I did fool you for a minute there, didn't I, Mr. Nelson?
Well, I must confess that anyone who staggered to my door, apparently injured, would fool me, yes. Oh, by the way, are you, excuse me, are you comfortable on this?
Oh, yes.
I made it.
You did? Oh, yes, it is, very.
My favorite stain.
Mine, too, walnut.
No, spaghetti sauce, right there. That reminds me when I didn't have to watch my diet.
All right, child, enough of this charade. May I invite you to leave our home?
Oh.
Yes, come on, honey. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm very sorry. We didn't mean to intrude. I'm really just dreadfully, terribly sorry.
Is this your second act opening or hopefully your first act closing?
Closing. We're going.
Not without something warm inside.
Joseph.
Now, patience, my dear, patience. An undue length of time has passed without any introductions. I am, as you well know, Joseph Nelson, and this is my wife.
Hello.
How do you do, sir? I'm Donald Hollinger, and this is my fiancée, Anne Marie.
Anne Marie. Now, that is a beautiful name.
Thank you. I really can't take much credit for it. My parents gave it to me as a present.
On your birthday, Marvelously refreshing. Just simply refreshing. Well, I am very flattered that you like my book.
Oh, I didn't simply like it, Mr. Nelson. I became a part of it, especially the part of Della.
Everyone always feels that way about Joseph's writings, all of them. So that hardly makes you exceptional.
Oh, no, I mean, no.
Mr. Nelson, I'm a writer, sir.
Has anybody seen my little rat tail file?
Oh.
Rat tail.
Oh, here, is this it?
Ah, thank you.
What I was about to say, sir, is as wonderful as all of your books have been, your refusal to allow a woman's story to be performed suggests something of a marvelous story in itself.
Perhaps. It was the last thing I ever wrote.
I know. But you've allowed everything else to be performed.
Allowed? I wrote all the screenplays and all the adaptations. No one else was ever allowed to touch a word.
Well, that's what I find so strange. I mean, you know, why you don't allow a woman's story to be performed.
Because, my dear, a woman's story was more than a simple book to me. It was a portion of my life. You see, Della was my wife.
Was your wife?
Mm-hmm. Oh, my first wife. She died a year before the book was published.
Well, Joseph, it's getting rather late. And if the ensuing story doesn't bore these people, it shall bore me. So therefore, I prefer not to hear it.
I'm afraid that Frances is right. It is a personal story that should interest no one, and besides, she has had her share of listening to it.
Oh, Mr. Nelson, I wouldn't be bored. Honestly, I just would love to hear about it.
I think that I would like to think a little bit longer about telling it to you. May I have your phone number?
Oh, of course. Oh, Mr. Nelson, thanks so much for taking so much time with us and for really understanding my interest in Della.
Oh, you're quite welcome, and I expect in the very near future to tell you why I'm so interested in you. Now, I hope that you two can stumble your way back to your plane.
Yeah.
Well, our car is parked right down the road. Thank you, sir, very
Good
much.
night.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
The likeness is remarkable, isn't it, Joseph?
Truly.
I'm gonna call him again.
No, you are not, honey. There was no answer before, and there won't be any answer now. Either they're not answering the phone, or they went someplace else for the meeting.
You're right. I'll call them there.
Where?
How should I know?
You're right. Don't call them there.
Oh, Donald, suppose he will sell me the rights. Where am I gonna get the money to pay for them?
Honey, if he agrees to write the screenplay, which apparently is the only way he'll allow it to be done, then you don't have to buy the rights. He'll sell them to a film company.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but what if the film company wants to cast another actress in the part?
Honey, I don't think Nelson will allow that to happen. After all, apparently you're the only reason he's doing the movie.
Hello.
What happened?
Well, I just talked to him.
Would you care to order?
No, of course not.
Sorry, Anne. Isn't this a restaurant?
Oh, yes. Oh, Pete, I'm sorry. We'll order later. Tell me.
Very simply, I would call the waiter back and order the best champagne in the place.
Why, Sandy, why?
Because, my dear client, you are going to become the star of a woman's story. And I would say within 1 year from today, you will be the hottest, richest movie star in the country.
Sandy, what's the next step?
We just sit. Nelson's people have to come to an agreement with some film company. And when they do, I'm sure they'll get in touch with us immediately.
Tell me again. Just tell me once more what Nelson said about me.
He said quite clearly that if it weren't for you, the book would never be made into a movie, and he wanted me to know that he would not do it unless you played the lead.
I thought that's what you said. You know, we really should order some champagne.
We did.
Thank you, Donald.
This is the part that I get to like. You know, the negotiations, the wheeling, the dealing. We're going to squeeze every cent out of them.
Yeah, that's good. But if they don't want to pay me anything, that's okay, too.
I'll call you as soon as I hear more. Will you stay close to the phone?
Do you know a surgeon that can sew it to me?
Honey, this is terrific.
Oh, Donald, it really is. I just can't believe it. I just wonder what it was that I said or did, or what you said or did that made him decide.
I don't know, darling, and you shouldn't care. Whatever it is, it's wonderful for you. And don't think it's not going to be bad for me either.
What do you mean?
Well, a year from now, I'm going to be some big hit, being engaged to the richest, most famous movie star in America.
That's right.
Sure, because once you make the deal, you can introduce her to me.
Oh, Donald.
I wish you'd reconsider this, Joseph.
Frances, dear, I know you don't want me to tax myself, but I can't tell you how I've been looking forward to writing again. Why, I have written hardly anything at all since Della died. Well, except her book. This is going to be fun.
You had fun fixing furniture before this girl came along.
Oh, and I will again. But right now, I'm going to write this screenplay.
You're making a mistake, Joseph.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, how do you know she's an actress simply because she says she is?
I spoke with her agent, a very reputable man. He showed me some of her clippings. She's done some fine things and gotten excellent notices. Oh, come on, Francis. Enjoy this with me. You sit down and relax, read, and I'll write.
Hello.
Wow. You were sitting next to it, weren't you?
No joke, Sandy. What? What's happened?
Well, I've just had the greatest day of my life. I spoke to the heads of 3 major motion picture studios. They all want to buy the property, and they all agreed to let you star in it without even knowing who you are.
Nobody you talked to knew who I was?
No, but it didn't matter. They all want to do the film. They know they'll make a fortune out of it no matter who stars in it.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I mean, I did show them some film of you, you know, just so that they would know what you look like.
What? What film did you show them?
Your sip-up commercial.
My sip-up commercial? Oh, Sandy, how could you do that? I was only a carbonated, no-deposit bottle in that one. All you could see was my face and my rip-off top. Why didn't you show them my Glow Bright commercial? Remember, that was the one I did the clothespin dance in.
So I made a mistake. I guess that's why they only offered me $30,000 for you to do the part. And?
Sandy, I don't think I want to have this conversation on the phone. I'll be right over.
Let me tell you what else.
No. Don't tell me anything. I really want you to tell me everything right to my person. I shouldn't be alone. It's such a marvelous moment in my life. I'll be right over. Wait right there. I'll take a cab. Maybe I'll buy one.
That's right. I turned them down.
How could you do that?
Very simple. I know that they'll pay more. The only way that they can get the movie is if you agree to do it. So, if we turn down the $30,000, they'll have to make us a better offer.
Yeah, but suppose they just say forget the whole thing. We just won't make the movie at all.
I'm willing to take that chance.
You're willing to take that chance? You're some gambler.
Yes? Okay. Shh. It's Wally Cohn, the negotiator. Hi, Wally, baby. Yes. That's right. $30,000 is totally out of the question. I know she's an unknown, but so what? Look, Wally, do you want to do a woman's story with an unknown or no movie at all with 10,000 stars? That's right. How much? You're kidding. Look, Wally, call back when you're ready to talk seriously. Right. Bye.
What? How much? What was kidding?
$50,000.
$50,000 isn't kidding, Sandy. A wooden nickel is kidding. A $3 bill is a small joke. But $50,000 isn't kidding. That's deadly serious. Call him back.
I'm going to call him back, and I'm going to ask for $200,000 and 10% of the gross.
You really need a doctor, Sandy. I wouldn't give me that if I were in charge of the money.
That's why you're not your agent. Now, will you go home so I can do my business?
Okay, but you call me if you hear anything.
No, I'll call Queen Elizabeth. Now, get out of here. Elaine, get me Wally Cohn at Paramount.
My crunchy commercial. We should have sent him that. Why hasn't he called?
Honey, he's probably still negotiating.
Sure. He's going to ask for $200,000, and that Mr. Cohen is going to say you're crazy. And that girl is crazy and bad for being so ungrateful. So just forget the whole thing. I'm going to call Mr. Cohen and tell him that I'll do it for $1. Maybe I'll even pay him $2. Donald.
You want me to get it?
No, I'll get it. How much? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Excuse me. Hello, Mrs. Nelson. How are you? Oh, yes, I'll be home all day tomorrow. Well, anytime you like. 3 o'clock is fine. That'll be just fine. Is Mr. Nelson coming with you? Oh, no, that's fine. 3 o'clock. Bye.
What was that all about?
That was Mrs. Nelson, and she really sounded strange.
Then it definitely was Mrs. Nelson, because she is strange.
She says she wants to see me tomorrow. Who is it?
Sandy.
Oh, Sandy. What?
They said no to the $200,000.
Oh, Sandy.
They offered only $100,000.
Oh, Sandy! Sandy, that's wonderful. Oh, you're wonderful. Only $100,000. That's funny.
It's not funny. It's hysterical. I turned them down.
I'll kill you.
So they offered me $150,000.
Take it!
Okay. I have to call them back later. Well, how does it feel knowing that a year from today, you're going to be a very rich lady and queen of the film world?
It won't change me a bit. I'll still be your humble client and your devoted lady.
Honey, I'm so proud of you.
There'll be no touching a queen.
thank you. I shan't stay very long.
Oh, you can stay as long as you like. I'm just delighted you wanted to come over.
Lovely apartment. It's charming, really.
Oh, thank you. Would you like to sit down?
Oh, I hope that I'm not inconveniencing you.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm so glad you wanted to come over. I've just felt terrible about the way we intruded on you the other night. I hope that we can be friends. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, there's really no need to apologize. It was just an uncomfortable coincidence.
Coincidence?
Look.
Oh, my gosh. Who is she? She looks just like me.
Joseph's first wife, Della. Della of A Woman's Story.
She could be my sister.
Joseph saw the resemblance immediately. That's why he was so captivated by you. Joseph is not a well man, and, well, seeing you made him feel as if you were alive again.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Nelson. I'm sure that must have upset you.
Oh, you think I'm jealous? My dear, I'm past the age of being jealous now. Well, why do you think Joseph hasn't written since Della's death?
I don't know.
Because he can't write anymore. Oh, he tried a few things, but I managed to conceal them from the publishers and the critics. Something happened. He's just incapable of writing.
Why? I don't understand.
Joseph has finished the first part of the script, and this is what he's written.
And it was just ramblings, Donald. Page after page of it. I mean, it had nothing at all to do with the woman's story. And he thinks he's writing a script.
That's awful.
It really is. So I've decided to tell Sandy to just ask for a tremendous amount of money that they would never accept, and that way the movie won't be made at all.
That's an awful lot to give up, honey.
Well, I'm not really giving up anything. They wouldn't have a script to shoot with anyway. This way, it'll just look like I'm too high-priced an actress instead of him being a bad writer.
What's the emergency?
Sandy, did you accept the $150,000 offer yet?
No, not yet, but I will if you insist. I mean, you seem so worried. I keep telling you I can get more money, but if it'll stop you from becoming a nervous wreck...
No, that's not the thing. I want you to turn down the $150,000. I want you to ask for more.
Atta girl, Ann! Oh, this is suddenly becoming my kind of a ball game. Now, we're gonna hold out for the $200,000, right?
Well, no, I want you to ask for $1 million.
Now you're talking.
Honey, I know how you feel, but I think you did the right thing.
What, are you crazy?
It was really a beautiful thing Mr. Nelson did to make this cribbage board for me. And it's even more beautiful of you to teach me how to play. I know you usually say no.
I should have said no. You're never going to learn.
I will so. I know you couldn't teach me how to play poker or rummy, but I really wasn't concentrating. I'm going to learn this real fast, because I really want to.
You're never going to learn because you don't have any card sense. You don't know anything about cards. Some people are like that.
Oh, come on, Donald. You're making a little too much of it. I know all about cards. Jack, Queen, King.
Brilliant. All right. There are 50 cards here.
I know. Deal.
There are supposed to be 52.
Well, 50 out of 52 is okay. We'll play till we use up the 50. Come on, deal.